laugh at this, Jason, but what they're doing is always expanding what's a threat so that everybody can be treated like they're guilty. This is prisoner training. That's what the groping is all about in the microwave ovens. It's throwing the precept of innocent until proven guilty into guilty, 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 government is your God, and the TSA, as we mentioned earlier, coming to a shopping mall and a highway checkpoint near you. They're just gearing up for the total collapse of society and setting the precedent that they can do whatever the hell they want.
Absolutely, and unfortunately, this seems to be sliding towards a Chinese-type society where they just come, grab you, put you in a hole, don't tell you or your family where you're going to be. We had this happen with Wei Chen some months ago, and then there was an outcry of people. People came to his aid. Well, what happened, Alex? Well, just this week, there was a trial against this man. He was sentenced to 9 years in prison, and he was never even allowed to make a statement. Following up on that, 3 days later, we have the same thing happening to another Chinese political dissident. And we don't even have the freedom of the press in this world anymore. We now have Swedish journalists who have been convicted of basically going against the state and now will serve 11 years in prison. And we have to protect ourselves from these megalomaniacs that would prosecute any purveyors of free speech and freedom.
Well, you're right. Look, the criminal class thought that they could just ignore the alternative media. But we have become the mainstream media, not just in information, being truthful, but in total viewers. And it was a couple of years ago we passed the Rubicon where so-called alternative media together is bigger than all the so-called mainstream media who put the crown on their own head. It's the emperor's new clothes. We are the real media. The system knows it. So now they've got this new Internet Act, which in their own words shuts down free speech. And now they've got the NDAA. All those that said, oh, you're crazy. The government isn't going to secretly arrest Americans. They're not going to get rid of posse comitatus, even though we'd been to the urban warfare drills and witnessed it. Now it's all just passé. Yeah, there's a world government. Yeah, the military is going to arrest you. I mean, it's just open authoritarianism. And as the Bill of Rights and Constitution goes out the window, notice the economy went out the window with it. Oh, so people that say, well, I'm not bad, you know, I'm not worried about a tyranny. It doesn't matter if you're not bad. If you were bad and evil, they'd hire you to work for them. It's not, I have nothing to hide. That's why you got a problem. They want you to be their slave. They want to eat your lunch. They want to dominate you because that's what crooks do. If you were a bad person and had something to hide, you'd go work for them. Dummies. Okay? Get that? All the time people say, well, I don't care if they secretly arrest people and torture them because I haven't done anything wrong. Hey, jackass. Don't you understand a lot of people didn't do anything wrong to Stalin? That's why he wanted them. They were just little farmers that weren't dependent on him. So he killed them. Hitler, the same thing. Mao Zedong, Pol Pot, Julius Caesar. Grow up. Grow up. You're in danger, jackass, because the criminals see you as a chump who'll put up with anything.
Absolutely, and I'm glad that you talked about the faltering economy because we have big stores like Kmart and Sears just announcing, you know what, we're going to have to shut down 100-plus stores. We have banks such as Bank of America, JP Morgan. They're saying they're going to fire 150,000 people this year alone. Maybe this will help them to hide from the American public and the world populace that they're basically insolvent at this point, even though you have heads of the IMF coming out and saying, well, we really are in a global depression right now and we're not sure where the economy's actually going to be going. All this while our sitting president has now broken the record for the most money raised for any campaign of a presidency ever, and it's not even 2012. He is projected to have raised $200 million this year alone. Let's compare that to the real frontrunner out there, Ron Paul. Some people have the numbers at about 12.6 million. Some people have the numbers at 15 million. You know, let's give him 20 million. That's a tenth of what the man in office is spending. And who has more support on the streets, Alex? Who has more signs out there than anybody else?
No. Ron Paul, on average, his donation's about $25. With Obama, it's all these billionaire fat cats, and you've got all these moron Democrats thinking he's going to save them from something when he's bankrolled by the various people that are bankrolling Gingrich and all these other scumbags like Romney. I mean, it is so transparent. Well, undoubtedly, 2012 is going to be a crazy year. In closing, what are your predictions or perspectives on what you think is going to happen in this coming big 2012?
Well, I really hope that people get off their butts and get out there and say no to this NDAA bill, especially if it is signed by the White House. I really feel like they're biding their time. They're waiting for another distraction, another disaster to do it under the cover of night. And if this thing passes, all you occupiers out there, all you Tea Parties out there, everybody who has any bit of semblance in their heart for freedom must get out to D.C., must get out to the lawn of the Capitol and the White House and say no to this, because it's not only un-American, it is against humanity, Alex.
Well, you're right. The whole world now says, well, we'll secretly arrest and torture and kill because America, the good guys, do it. I mean, we've now become an open tyranny. Jason Burmis, thank you so much for spending time with us. We've had on screen your Twitter account. Is that the best place for folks to check out your work?
Absolutely.
All right, Jason Burmis, thank you for giving us your perspective. Thank you, Alex. All right, my friends, we're going to go to break and come back with another great Infowars.com correspondent, Patrick Henningsen. He's going to report on geopolitical developments, what could be turned into World War III with Iran, the military drills in the Strait of Hormuz that could shut down 40% of world oil supplies, the Iranians threatening Western helicopters to blow them out of the sky. Things are certainly heating up. We'll also look at al-Qaeda forces that Burmis mentioned earlier, openly working for the same mega banks that have hijacked this country. It's Infowars Nightly News. We'll be right back. If you believe in this information and want to support its viral spread, go to the Infowars store at Infowars.com. We've got the new G.I. Joe Infowars t-shirts. We've got the incredible Pro Pure gravity-fed filters available at Infowars.com in the store. We've got a new DVD, Scientists Under Attack, the Don't Tread on Me flag. We've got all sorts of different bumper stickers to help spread the rebellion virally. It's all there, wristbands, citizen rule books in every order. Order online at Infowars.com today. The water filters, the canteens, it's all there. Infowars.com.
Dr. Ron Paul, more than 4,000 babies delivered, a man of faith, committed to protecting life.
Some people need to have a good word said about them. Ron is the sort of person that his life is his good word.
You know, you just knew that Ron cared about you. Life begins at conception, in my opinion, and as a result, I love to go to a doctor who felt the same way.
He not only protects unborn life, but he also walks through journeys with women, and he has for years.
I love the fact that he hadn't changed in all these years. Ron's still the same guy, still saying the same things, and now all these years later, still standing his ground.
Ron did not let Washington change him.
It's not hard for someone who is a Christian and who truly believes to stay on the right path, and I think that's what kind of person Ron Paul is.
America has to have someone like Ron Paul today. There is no question.
Welcome back. It's the final segment of Infowars Nightly News as we prepare to close out 2011 this week. We're going to be looking at the storm clouds gathering over the Middle East and over Persia, and they're in the Persian Gulf. A year ago, our experts on air, but also our sources inside the military, confirmed to us that the system was moving towards a green light for war with Iran. Now we see the head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, top U.S. generals, Israeli leaders saying the war is on. Iran gives up its nuclear program, whether you believe it's peaceful or not, or we're going to attack you. And Iran has responded by running drills that are still ongoing and threatening aircraft and ships in the area if they get near their waters to shut down the Strait of Hormuz that controls 40% of world oil supplies a day. Now, if you'd like to see oil prices double or even triple, and that's what would happen through a disruption, be for war. Now, I've seen people on Infowars.com flooding us with spam on articles we've been posting and writing about this, saying, I'm a Christian, it's the end of the world, thank God, let's nuke them, let's start it. And I see a lot of Christian churches pushing this, and this is not what Christians would be promoting. And people accuse Iran and some Muslim sects of wanting to start the end of the world. This is insanity. Okay, mega central banks are imploding the world economy, including the Middle Eastern economy, and trying to set up a world government on its ashes. This is now public. So for all of you that laughed at us in the last decade, oh, there's no world government, oh, there's no mega banks, oh, derivatives aren't bad, don't you look foolish now. But you feel like you're part of the establishment because you repeat and regurgitate everything that the paid-for talking heads say to you every night. I'm not talking to our general listeners and patriots out there worldwide who understand human dignity and who are patriots for liberty and freedom. I'm talking to those of you out there who are the minority who still support this tyranny. And I'm talking to those that serve this system as well. You are destroying your future, your children's future, and our future. And we're now up to the wire on this. And, you know, my dad is a smart guy. And over the years, he believes most of what I say. He researches it and finds out that it's true. But this weekend, I was over there for Christmas dinner with my family. We were outside and grilling some steaks. And he said, you know, I've really done all the research and looked into all these claims. You know, it's even in mainstream news that Western governments fund al-Qaeda and use them in Syria and Iran and Iraq and Libya. And how does the public not get upset? How does the military not get upset? I mean, he goes, I just read Brzezinski's book where he brags that they created him. It's all true. And he was looking at me really freaked out, and he said, my God, these people are madmen. And I'm like, yes, that's right. They're madmen. They say, give up your rights in America or al-Qaeda will get you, and then use al-Qaeda to take over countries. And now the West supposedly pulls out of Iraq, and then al-Qaeda strikes. When the very same al-Qaeda group are groups that the West admits they're funding to attack Iran. I mean, it's incredible. The entire system knows they can't hide this anymore, so they don't. It is schizophrenic. It is crazy. It is unspeakable that we've come to this point. Now, I want to bring Patrick Henningsen on, who is a reporter for Infowars.com. He's very brave as well. Just about a month ago, he said, look, I'll do it on my own dime, but I want to go to Syria. And I said, well, please don't do that, Patrick. It's super dangerous. Tarpley has been there and reported for us and was there where Western snipers were posing as al-Qaeda shooting people. I mean, it's nuts. But he is there in England. He talks to a lot of the reporters over there. And he does a lot of great work for Infowars.com. He also has 21stCenturyWire.com, which is his site. But he is reporting for us from England on this situation, and we're going to cover the waterfront. We'll also get into Ron Paul and some news breaking today that he's working on, that Qatar is actually funding the destabilization of the House of Saud. So we're going to discuss that all with him today. Patrick, I mean, things have never gotten more transparent than they have now.
Yeah, this is the incredible thing about this point in history. It's also the thing that it makes it difficult to sleep at night, because you go to bed thinking, you know, all these the clandestine movement's over. It's all happening right in your face right now. And this is the thing. Looking at Libya, a lot of people got a lot of confidence from the operation in Libya. Anybody that was allied with NATO, the NATO countries, and this is like a green light. This is a fantastic opportunity for those sort of opportunists. They can look at Libya and say, hey, you know, we don't have to make up anything about WMDs. We can just do this like straight in off of some kind of a flimsy UN resolution, and let's repeat this process. Even the British Foreign Secretary was kind of boasting, saying, look at Libya. This is a great return on our investment. We spent X amount on the military operation, and we're getting X amount back in contracts. What a fantastic success. Obviously, he caught a lot of criticism for that at the time. He's saying, look at this template. We can use this in Syria. We can repeat this in Iran. And actually, Webster Tarpley said this back in 2010, that all these regimes in the Middle East were going to go down, including the monarchies. So obviously, Bahrain and the House of Saud, these people are safe at the moment. But how long will they be safe? The U.S.